Imagine a computer so powerful it can simulate nature itself. Microsoft just unveiled a chip they claim will do exactly that. But is this a real breakthrough or just marketing hype? Let's break it all down. Welcome to the Millionaires Club. Before we get started, thank you for liking and sharing this video. It really helps out the channel, and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out on future updates.
What would the world look like with a computer that could accurately model the laws of nature? That's the promise of quantum computing, but there have always been limitations. Now, as one of our longest running research projects, our team at Microsoft has been able to take a subatomic particle that has only been theorized until now, and not only observe it, but control it.
This is not a work of science, it's a work of science and art.
I gotta be honest, some of these ideas are a little science fiction sounding.
It will solve problems unsolvable by the combined power of all the world's compute today, and promises to revolutionize fields such as medicine, material science, and our understanding of the natural world. Our first quantum processor based on this architecture is the Majorana 1.
Before we get too deep, let's quickly break down why quantum computing even matters. Right now, the most powerful supercomputers on Earth struggle to accurately model something as simple as a small molecule. A normal laptop can simulate maybe 10 electrons. A supercomputer can do about 20 before it completely taps out. But beyond that, forget it. Even if you combined every computer in existence, it would take longer than the age of the universe to simulate 30 to 50 electrons with perfect accuracy. But a quantum computer? In theory, it can blow past that, solving problems in minutes or hours that would take classical computers millions of years. And that's why companies like Google, IBM, and now Microsoft are racing to figure this out, because whoever gets there first changes computing forever.
Quantum computing is super fascinating. It has the capability to do computations that would take hundreds, thousands, maybe even millions of years on even the biggest supercomputers that are out there today. And what is interesting about it is we can actually take that and apply it to do brand new things that would be super hard to do, like creating self-healing materials, figuring out catalysts that would get rid of microplastics, figuring out how to get rid of forever chemicals. I mean, these are things that we all want to do. It would impact all of us positively, around the globe.
Now here's where things get interesting. Microsoft just revealed the Majorana 1, their first ever quantum processor, and according to them, it solves the biggest problem in quantum computing. Let's talk qubits. Qubits are the fundamental building blocks of quantum computers, like the quantum version of classical bits, ones and zeros. But traditional qubits suck. They're incredibly fragile, extremely error-prone, and need to be kept at a near absolute zero temperature just to work for a few microseconds before they collapse. That's why quantum progress has been so slow. It's kind of like trying to do brain surgery during an earthquake. Microsoft says they fixed this problem by developing a new type of qubit, the topological qubit, powered by a Majorana particle.
100 years ago, mathematicians predicted one such new state of matter, the topological state. And since then, researchers have been looking for a very specific, very useful quasi-particle within it, the Majorana particle. Last year, we were able to observe it for the first time. And this year, we're able to control it.
They claim this chip stabilizes qubits in a way no one else has ever done before. And here's the big one. They say this will allow them to fit millions of qubits on a single tiny chip.
But this is actually the Majorana 1 chip that I have here. I'll try and get the glare off of that. But this actually is the chip, and with the underlying technology, again, would allow me each qubit, which is the fundamental building block. You think about bits, and bytes in the chip in your phone. This is qubits for a quantum computer. Each one fits in about 1/100th of a millimeter. And that's why we're able to figure out how we can get to 1 million of those on one chip that fits in the palm of your hand.
Now compare that to Google's Willow quantum processor announced just last December, which has 105 qubits. Microsoft, they're talking about scaling to 1 million. That's a big claim, but is it real? All right, let's pump the brakes for just a second, because if there's one thing I've learned covering emerging tech, it's this. Big claims don't always mean big results. Let's be real, Microsoft has been working on this for 20 plus years. They actually failed hard in 2018 when one of their major quantum research papers was retracted. And even today, this chip is not a working commercial product. It's still a research project. So yeah, Microsoft is betting everything on this design, but nothing has truly been proven yet. And that's the key difference here. Their prototype contains only 8 qubits, far fewer than the current processors developed by IBM and Google. As far as Microsoft, well, they're saying, just wait a few more years and we'll leapfrog everyone.
This is why I think we like the analogy of thinking of this as the transistor moment of quantum computing, where we effectively have a new phase, which is the topological phase, where which is more reliable, which means we can even now reliably hide the quantum information and measure it, and we can fabricate it. And so now that we have it, we feel like with that core foundational fabrication technique out of the way, we can start building a Majorana chip, that Majorana 1, which I think is going to basically be the first chip that will be capable of 1 million qubits.
Again, these are bold claims, but here's where things get crazy. Quantum computing isn't just about quantum computation, it's about AI as well.
AI is like an emulator of the simulator. Like quantum is like a simulator of nature. Like what is quantum going to do? By the way, quantum is not going to replace classical, right? Quantum is great at what quantum can do, and classical will be also, because you can't, to be able to, quantum is going to be fantastic for anything that is not data heavy, but it's got more exploration heavy in terms of the state space, right? So it should be data light, but exponential states that you want to explore. And, simulation is a great one. Chemical, physics, what have you, biology. So one of the things that we've started doing is really using AI as the emulation engine, but you can then train. So the way I think of it as, if you have AI plus quantum, maybe you will use quantum to generate synthetic data that then gets used by AI to train better models that know how to model something like chemistry or physics or what have you. And these two things will get used together. So even today, that's kind of effectively what we're doing with the combination of HPC and AI. And I hope to replace some of the HPC pieces with quantum computers.
Satya Nadella straight up said that AI models in the near future will be trained using quantum-generated data. This is huge because, as we all know, AI is limited by computational power. The reason why AI models like ChatGPT, Gemini, Claude, and Grok cost so much to run is that they need massive computing resources. Take the latest release of Grok as an example. Grok 3 was trained on a custom-built supercomputer with 200,000 GPUs. But if quantum computing can accelerate AI training, we could see exponentially faster progress with massively less hardware. Think of it like this: AI learns patterns and the quantum can simulate reality. That means faster AI breakthroughs, better chemistry simulations, and even faster discovery of new materials, medicines, and physics.
Having something that has infinite memory, and then that can even help us, after all, what is that Herbert Simon thing, right? Which is we are all like bounded rationality, right? So if the bounded rationality of humans can actually be sort of dealt with because there is a cognitive amplifier outside, that's great.
If all this happens, it would obviously be a game changer. But I want to know what you think. Are you guys buying the hype, or is this just another overpromise from Microsoft? Let's start a conversation down in the comments below. So where do I land on all of this? Well, Microsoft is promising big things, but this is still unproven, and the timeline for a working scale prototype is a bit down the line. However, if their topological qubit strategy works, they could skip ahead of everyone. But if they fail once again, they'll be stuck while Google and IBM keep iterating on technologies they've already proven. So is this the moment for quantum computing? No, not yet, but it's probably coming sooner than we think. And when it does, it's clear that the world and AI will never be the same. If you liked this video, check out this one over here, or this one over here. Seriously, check them out, they're pretty good. And if not, see you around the campus.
Subscribe and like.